half hour, I will be reading from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. In our first article, Buffalo embraces winter with new Made for Snow Buffs advertising campaign. What's the opposite of snowbird? Could it be snow buff? A new pro-winter in Buffalo campaign is underway to demonstrate that this city embraces its winter fully and unapologetically. Visit Buffalo has launched its Made for Snow Buffs winter advertising campaign featuring all sorts of fun in the snow imagery, including skating, sledding, cycling, and even paddleboarding. The initiative is part of Visit Buffalo's broader That's Buffalo for You campaign, which was developed in partnership with destination marketing firm MMGY. The goal is to put Greater Buffalo on the radar of those who are looking to travel to fun-filled, snowy destinations. Winter is one of Buffalo's greatest assets, and this campaign invites visitors near and far to experience it with new eyes, said Patrick Kaler, President and CEO of Visit Buffalo. From the warmth of our neighborhoods and cultural attractions to the beauty of our snowy landscapes, Buffalo delivers unforgettable moments all season long. This is about growing visitation during a time of year with tremendous potential and celebrating the people, places, and spirit that makes Buffalo feel like home, even in the heart of winter. Our next article, Dashes, calls upon Paula's Donuts to fill hole left by Famous Donuts. Dashes Market has announced that it is partnering with Paula's Donuts to fill the hole left by Famous Donuts. This transition has opened up the comment floodgates on social media channels where donut lovers are sparring with each other about the best donut in Buffalo, about what the best donut in Buffalo actually is. It seems as if there is a bittersweet taste left in some people's mouths who are very sorry and sad to see Famous Donuts go, as they are retiring after 80 years in business. There is a chance that new owners might take it over. At the same time, Paula's has a tremendous following, which means that Dash's customers will soon be able to add the coveted Scratch Donuts to their shopping list. We are excited to announce our partnership with Paula's Donuts. Starting Sunday, November 16th, all 4 Dashes will have Paula's Donuts made from scratch by hand, just the way they always have been. Delivered fresh and made with love daily. We cannot wait to partner with this amazing local family-run business. We currently carry Famous, but they are retiring. We're thankful for the long partnership we had with them over the years. The Paula's Donut story was from the business section. Under our next article is from Arts and Culture. Alive and Kicking highlights the humor in growing older. There are so many indignities involved in getting older. It starts with bartenders no longer bothering to card you. My license photo is a horror show, so it's probably for the best, but still, I can't help but miss the feeling of someone thinking I might be underage. And then there are the aches, the pains, and the gray hairs. Alive and Kicking tackled all of this with song, dance, and a bit of dark humor that kept the audience thoroughly entertained. The musical took familiar songs like Memory and Beauty and the Beast and cleverly rewrote the lyrics for a new comic context. One running gag involved increasingly elaborate cremation options for loved ones, ranging from turning ashes into diamonds, tchotchkes, or even underwater fish reefs. The production was staged simply with a few stools, movable boxes, and a projected screen that supplied shifting imagery. The minimal design kept the focus on the performers and the humor. The ensemble cast included Phil Salimi Jr., John Cruiser, Kelly Bokak-Natali, and Sandra Gilliam as the senior characters, with Corey Bieber and Sam Crystal rounding out the younger roles. Bulcock Natalie also directed the production, and Kelsey Rose provided live piano accompaniment. Book and lyrics were by Stefan de Gelder. Performances were heartfelt and solidly entertaining across the board, with Bulcock Natalie standing out for her strong comedic timing and ease on stage. A particularly charming moment came when she acknowledged a flubbed line by attributing it to a senior moment, which landed well with the audience and fit the spirit of the show. Overall, Connell and Company provided a short yet thoroughly entertaining afternoon of theater in a welcoming space. The Canterbury Woods Performing Arts Center, located within the Canterbury Woods retirement community in Williamsville, offered easy parking, a short drive, and a wonderful reminder. Getting older might come with indignities, but it also comes with plenty to laugh about. Our next article is from the community section of Buffalo Rising, titled Broadway Market Renovations Set to Begin. After several years of planning, renovations to the Broadway market are expected to begin this summer. Capital funding for the $40 to $45 million renovation is from Empire State Development and Operations. Support for BMMI is funded by the Regional Revitalization Partnership, RRP, a multi-year $300 million collaborative initiative between New York State's Empire State Development, local municipalities, and private philanthropic partners. Downtown Revitalization Initiative funds provided by New York State Department of State are also included in the capital funding for the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood. The overall design of the revitalization will include a reorganization of the internal layout and circulation within the market to cluster year-round vendors along a central main aisle with adjoining areas for growth and incorporation of expanded areas for prepared foods and food production. Raising of a rear parking structure that has experienced significant deterioration and replacement with a multi-purpose surface parking loading area that can also host outdoor events. Restoration of various character-defining features such as the Art Moderne curved walls and window features of the building's facade and highlighting of the structure's internal concrete elements. Incorporation of new vendor stalls and improved mechanical, electrical, and other internal systems, and new iconic sign elements and lighting on the Broadway and rear facades. Broadway Market Management, Inc., BMMI, a new not-for-profit corporation, has been established in coordination with ESD to operate the city-owned public market building. Our vision has always been a thriving Broadway market for the East Side, and today we are one step closer, said Empire State Development President, CEO, and Commissioner Hope Knight. With major state and regional revitalization partnership investment, we're turning the tide on decades of decline and pursuing a plan that firmly reestablishes the market as a bustling hub in the heart of the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood. In February, the proposed design for the market was determined eligible for a Type 2 Historic Preservation certification by the National Park Service, which will enable the project to receive historic tax credit financing. The Broadway market, built in 1956, is eligible for inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places and is recognized as part of the Broadway Fillmore Local Historic District. The market, which occupied two prior buildings on the site, has been in place at this location since 1888 and has historically played an important role as a center for year-round international owner-operated, affordable, fresh, and prepared food shops and neighborhood services. As the community around it has changed, the market is now seeking to maximize its relevance to Broadway Fillmore and to expand its customer base to serve as a sustainable stimulus to neighborhood development as well as an attraction for the entire region. ESD, in coordination with BMMI, has been working with a design team led by Flynn Battaglia Architects and a construction management team led by Buffalo Construction Consultants, BCC, to prepare construction documents, independent cost estimates, and a construction staging plan to allow the market and its vendors to remain open, albeit in a modified manner during the estimated 24-month construction period. Our next article is from the Bars Restaurants section. Podcast, Old City Pizza. When I first heard that the defunct Brawler's Deli in the basement of Pearl Street Grill and Brewery was going to become Old City Pizza, I had no idea that the CEO of the property, Bill Casale, had a family history of pizza making. It wasn't until I stopped in with my mom and dad for lunch that I learned about the backstory of the new pizzeria. It turns out that Bill's grandfather owned a pizzeria in Niagara Falls called Casale's. That was news to me. It's a great story, the way that Bill tells it. Now there's another chapter to the story of Old City Pizza, which starts off with Casale and his head chef, Jeremiah Seifert, attending a pizza convention in Las Vegas where they came across Petra 0102 HP, a high-performance Type 1 Italian pizza flour made from partially sprouted wheat. This flour and the scratch pizzas have now come to be the heart and soul of the pizzeria. With 12 varieties of Neapolitan-style pizzas, scratch pastas, sandwiches prepared on in-house bread, and a full-service spot coffee station, Old City Pizza has hit a home run with this concept. From the turkey sandwich on a toasted roll to the open-faced meatball sandwich, the only question that arose was, when are we coming back? Casale mentioned that Earl Ketry, who still runs the show at the Pearl Street Grill and Brewery building, came up with the name for the pizzeria. Now downtown Buffalo is home to a restaurant concept that is quick and efficient, very handsome, and full of all sorts of thoughtfully curated and expertly prepared food and beverage offerings, many of which are made in-house, while others, including Fat Buffalo Distilling products made right around the corner at Buffalo River Works, are sourced close to home. Whether it's before a Sabres game or on a casual date night, Old City Pizza eagerly awaits your arrival. Next article is from Events Festivals section. What's on in Buffalo? John Legend, Southern Rock, and a One-Woman Odyssey. Article by Daniel Ledzian. William Shakespeare wrote, "April hath put a spirit of youth in everything," and looking at what's happening in Buffalo this month, we could not agree more. If you're ready to feel that energy, get out and experience some of the incredible events happening around the city. Get out and experience some of the incredible events happening around the city. For a dose of creativity, don't miss Spring into Art on April 28th at the University at Buffalo Center for the Arts, featuring dance, music, and theater performances, art exhibitions and installations, films and media work, a student art sale, and a printmaking station. We will see you out and about in Buffalo. Penelope, Duville Theater. This intimate one-woman tour de force reimagines Penelope from Homer's Odyssey as funny, fierce, and fed up with waiting, inviting audiences into her story from youth to motherhood and beyond. Blending a powerful pop score with sharp storytelling, the performance offers a contemporary take on a classic voice in a dynamic solo show, and that's at the Duville Kavanaki Theater, 320 Porter Avenue, April 10th through the 26th. 7:30 evenings, 2:30 matinee, $40 to $55 tickets. Dolly Quartet, Lippy's Concert Hall, Slee Hall, University at Buffalo North Campus. The Dolly Quartet brings vibrant energy to the final chapter of UB's Beethoven String Quartet cycle. Again, that's at the University at Buffalo North Campus. Lippy's Concert Hall, April 16th through April 18th, 7:30 p.m., $24.05 for tickets. The Broken View is playing at the Rec Room, 79 West Chippewa Street, April 16th. Doors 6:30 p.m. Show at 7. $20.86. The Broken View brings their emotionally charged blend of alternative rock and post-hardcore energy to Rec Room in Buffalo, known for soaring melodies, atmospheric textures, and deeply personal songwriting. The band delivers a performance that connects raw emotion with powerful driving sound. And you are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. And our final listing for an event, an evening with John Legend, Shays Theater, 650 Main Street, April 22nd, 8 p.m., $97 and up for tickets. John Legend brings an intimate live experience featuring reimagined versions of his greatest hits like All of Me and Ordinary People, alongside fan favorites from his award-winning career, woven together with personal stories. Our next story is from the Metro section of Buffalo Rising. James Does It All, fourth grader, competes in America's favorite student competition. When young people seek to set the world on fire, it is hard not to rally behind them. And that's the case with Western New York fourth grader James Wright, who runs his own STEM platform titled James Does It All, where he inspires others to do their own discovering through creative learning. It's people like James that are future teachers and leaders, which is why it's so important to support their efforts. Even though James is busy with his studies at Our Lady of Victory Elementary School in Lackawanna, he still finds time to engage his hobbies, which tend to revolve around STEM-related activities. He's also currently participating in the America's Favorite Student Competition, a national initiative that celebrates students who inspire others through learning, leadership, and community impact. It is through this competition that James hopes to bring awareness to another one of his passions, the Planetary Society, an organization committed to advancing space science and explorations. James has a natural spark, his family shared. He loves learning, asking questions, and discovering how things work. This competition gives him a chance to shine, but more importantly, it gives other young people someone to look up to. Ultimately, James wants to encourage today's youth to be inquisitive, to learn what makes them tick, which will lead them down exciting new paths in fields of science, technology, engineering, or any other realms that they feel like exploring. Community members can support James by voting and sharing his story. And our next article from the business section, Game On, gather and game supersizes to Amherst Street. What started as a quaint place to gather and game on Grant Street is now going to become a supersized version of its original self. 463 Amherst Street, most recently home to Interior Design Resources and D.B. Schunk Furniture back in the day, will enjoy its next life as home to Buffalo's very own Gather and Game. Gather and Game, recognized as a prized game store and community hub, has a retail component, a game library, gaming tables, a significant online presence, and a coffee shop element. The family-owned shop is known for their role-playing game events and their community-friendly vibe. While at 205 Grant Street, Gather and Games grew over the years to the point where it finally ran out of space to comfortably accommodate its in-store gaming clientele. The owners of the shop, Janine and Joe Petrie, originally opened as West Side Stories on Grant Street. In 2014, they added the gaming component to the bookstore, and in 2019, they opened a second location across the street, which they called Gather and Games. Not long after that, they sold the bookstore component and settled back into their original location, 205 Grant Street, which is where they exist today. West Side Stories continues to operate on Grant Street under new ownership and at a different location, while Gather and Game concentrates solely upon its gaming acumen. Now, the time has come for Gathering Games to spread its wings even further as it prepares for its 463 Amherst Street expansion in what is considered one of the most beautiful buildings in the neighborhood. Owned by 463 Amherst Street LLC. We are taking over the whole space, Joe Petrie told me. It's 9,000 square feet. The mezzanine will be dedicated to game tables and play space. The main floor will be retail. It was difficult for us to find a mid-sized location in the city, so we're fortunate to have found this building, especially in close proximity to our Grant Street spot. It checked all of the boxes. It's perfect for all of our needs because we don't have to do a build out. It's mostly tables and display racks. We're going to fill the space pretty quickly, and it will become a significant game destination in the city. We have a lot of regulars that are invested, which is great because there's a lot of competition on the region. There are 12 direct competitors, and if you count card shops only, there are 30 altogether. We are the only one located in the city proper. While there will be no coffee shop element, Petrie did mention that they would have some specialties such as craft sodas. Also, artist Casey Milbrand will once again have a hand in making the place pop, similar to what he did for the Grant Street location. All around, this is great news for Amherst Street, especially the family-friendly element. Petrie anticipates that the new Amherst Street location will be open within the next 3 months. And our next article is from Bars and Restaurants, Buffalo Rising. Article, Buffalo's Next Big Chicken Craze, Hencraft and Beyond. Patina Group, owned and operated as a subsidiary of Delaware North, has cut the ribbon on a very exciting new corporate venture, Hencraft. Hencraft, a fast casual chicken eatery located next to Starbucks at 235 Delaware Avenue at the corner of Chippewa, is essentially considered a test kitchen concept for the company. What does that mean? It means that in 6 months, that same location could very well be transitioned to fast casual Mexican food concept. Seriously. The point of this incubator space is to test drive eatery concepts. As for Hencraft, Patina Group has already identified 4 locations where the concept will roll out once 235 Delaware Avenue location serves its purpose. One will be a KeyBank Center, concessions operated by Delaware North Sports Service, while 3 others are being targeted somewhere in the U.S. As for the purpose of Hencraft's 235 Delaware Avenue location, it is there to ensure that everything runs smoothly before the concept is rolled out to other locations. Patina Group will monitor the operation, make adjustments accordingly. The location will be a real-time indicator of how the concept is being received, what sort of volume to expect, how the supply chain works, and how customers are reacting to the menu, including the craft chicken sandwiches and the scratch dipping sauces. These new eatery concepts being launched at 235 Delaware Avenue location are being built to scale. And yes, Patina Group is currently preparing for a Mexican concept, which is on deck. This methodology gives a whole new meaning to saying born in Buffalo. As for Hencraft, it is being launched into the galaxy to compete in the chicken wars. Thankfully, Delaware North headquarters is located right across the street, which means that the big guns will be able to provide all the support necessary while directly overlooking its fledgling chicken concept as it incubates. During the ribbon cutting, I was able to test a chicken sandwich in a hot sauce. The chicken was super juicy and delicately crispy at the same time. My Cub reporter, Sarah Bond, agreed that it was delicious. So we are already planning our next Hencraft outing now that the concept has hatched. And our final article today from the Events and Festivals section of Buffalo Rising, Buffalo's Jazz Renaissance, the Gypsy Parlor Jam that brought the music back. In the wake of the pandemic, when stages went dark and musicians were left without their creative lifeline, something powerful was missing in Buffalo: the sound of live jazz and the deep camaraderie that comes with it. Out of that silence, a revival was born. 4 years ago, local jazz vocalist and producer Becky Davis launched a monthly jazz jam at Gypsy Parlor, a place already known as an eclectic and welcoming hub for artists. What began as a simple gathering of musicians eager to reconnect has grown into one of the city's most vibrant and sought after music events. Held on the first Monday of every month from 7 to 10 p.m., the evening begins with a featured artist performing alongside a house band from 7 to 8 p.m. Then from 8 to 10 p.m., the stage opens to the community, welcoming singers and instrumentalists of all skill levels to step into the spotlight. The response has been nothing short of extraordinary. The jam is now booked with featured artists all the way through February of 2027, a testament to both its popularity and its importance within Buffalo's music scene. But beyond the packed calendar, the true success lies in the lives it has helped shape. Take Renee Smith, for example. She first stepped up to the mic at the jam 4 years ago. Since then, she has committed herself to vocal training, developed her artistry, and now performs professionally with her own band. Elena Izquierdo's journey tells a similar story. After beginning at the jam and building connections within the community, she now has her own gigs and will perform at the Northwest Lewiston Jazz Festival this August alongside Davis herself. These stories are part of a larger movement, one where musicians find not only opportunity, but encouragement, mentorship, and belonging. The jam has even begun to attract international attention. At a recent session, a professional photographer from China attended and was so inspired that he filmed the entire evening from the first note to the final moments of packing up equipment at the end of the night. Behind the scenes, the house band plays a vital role in the jam's success, including standout musicians like percussionist Marvin Jolly and drummer Dave Phillips, whose steady presence helps anchor the evening while supporting performers of all levels. Davis is quick to credit Gabrielle Matina and her father Todd, owners of the Gypsy Parlor, for their support and belief in the vision. What started as a response to isolation has become a cornerstone of Buffalo's cultural life, a space where seasoned professionals and first-time performers stand side by side, where growth happens in real time and where jazz in all its spontaneity and soul continues to thrive. In a city rich with musical history, the Gypsy Parlor Jazz Jam is not just keeping the tradition alive, it's helping write its next chapter. And you have been listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising. We read from Buffalo Rising on Fridays at 8:30 a.m. And your reader today has been yours truly, Dan Arth, and I thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service with broadcast studios at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. Radio readings are broadcast 24 hours a day, every day, to area people who are blind or have a print disability. This year, our agency marks almost 40 years on the air with more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge for WNED. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service website is nfradioreading.org. For more information, call 716-821-5555. Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. As always, please feel free to contact us with your comments, suggestions, or any questions you may have. Our broadcast studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. Our phone number is 716-821-5555. As always, stay with us. Arena Buffalo News is coming up next, and feel free to contact us with those comments, suggestions, or questions.
The following program is intended for listeners who are